Hey, welcome back. Simon Lees here again. I'm going to give you some more guitar tips. The guitar tip I'm going to give you today is to do with drop D tuning. If you haven't got a fancy tuner which recognises every single note in the musical alphabet, there's still a way you can use the standard sort of tuner to tune your guitar into drop D. Obviously, most of the strings you still tune the same way that you always do. The only string that changes is the fat E string, and that changes from E to D. So it's got to be kind of lower than it would be, so it's slightly looser. Okay, a lot of people these days use an app called Guitar Tuner, spelled like tuna fish, and it's a great tuner for your guitar. It's got a built-in metronome as well, which is really useful. And the best thing is it's free. But what Guitar Tuner doesn't do is tell you all the in-between notes. You know, it only kind of registers the notes that each string should be tuned to. You can pay and get a more fancy version, but if you want to stick to using the free version but still be able to use it to help you tune to drop D, this is what you do. I've done a video on harmonics already, and I'm going to use a harmonic on the fat E string to sort of use that as a benchmark to tune it to D. What you've got to do is to try and fool the guitar tuner into thinking that you're playing the open D string. If you play the open D string and it's in tune, you get this. I'll just flip it over to the tuner. That's my tuner. I'm using a normal guitar tuner that's built into my Boss GT10. But if I play a harmonic on the 12th fret on the fat E string, you can see that's saying E at the moment. Now on Guitar Tuner, it might not register as anything. So what I would suggest, at least to start with, if you're looking down on top of your fat E tuner there, if you give that a quarter turn clockwise, so I'm turning it. So if you're looking directly on top of the tuner, if you give it a quarter of the turn clockwise, that'll put it into the ballpark. So at least your tuner will think, well, it's obviously the D string, the open D string, but it's a little bit out. So, but at least it will register, so it won't. So if I just double check that. See, D is registering now. I probably need to go a bit further. So you might say give it a third of a turn maybe. But all I'm doing, I'm playing the harmonic on the 12th fret, which kind of sounds like this. And then when I send it to the tuner, well, it's saying I'm pretty much in tune, so that's good. Now, if you remember the video I did on tuning from low to high, it's always good to sort of go slightly below and then tune up to D. And that's how you do it. So if I just recap, put it back to E again. If you're doing this on a guitar with a Floyd Rose, it's a little bit more, it's going to take you longer, because what happens when you detune one of the strings, all the other strings are going to go out of tune, so you've got to go through the tuning process as you would normally, just getting all the other strings back into tune. As you do that, any adjustments that you made to the fat E string will need redoing, but hopefully to a lesser extent. So to be honest, if you drop D tuning on a Floyd Rose, I would just get a posh guitar tuner that recognises all the notes in the musical alphabet. I wouldn't mess around with this, but for the rest of us, if you've got a hardtail Gibson type or a Telecaster or even a Strat, this is fine. So I'm just going to put it back into normal tuning. Okay, so again, looking on top of the fat E string, I'm going to give that. So if I imagine that's at 12 o'clock, I'm going to turn it so that it's around about 20 past. And if you look at the tuner, we're in the ballpark now. So I'm just gone slightly too far, so I've just got to bring it back, which is good because we're going from low to high. If you do go past it, say if you go a smidgen past it, see, I've gone too far there. One trick you can do so that your string stays in tune better, it doesn't always work, but if you haven't gone too far, it might. Actually, give the string a bit of a pull and then check it again. That's made absolutely no difference at all. So sometimes you can do it if you bend the string as well. Okay, so we'll forget that idea. It does work sometimes. That's it. So by playing a harmonic on the 12th fret of the fat E string, you can fool your tuner into thinking that you're actually playing the open D string, and that's the one you want to tune. So your tuner can't tell if the notes, if it's the same pitch, the tuner can't tell what string you're playing, you know. So they're not that clever. Now then, why would you want to use drop D tuning? I mean, if you found this video, chances are you already know the answer to that, but the first time I came across drop D tuning that I can remember, I was teaching a guy who wanted me to teach him a song by Soundgarden called Spoon Man, and that used drop D tuning, and drop D tuning is pretty much the only way you could play that song. Even if you change the key, because the chords change that quickly, it'd be really difficult to play the chords like standard power chords. What drop D does, it allows you to play chords with one finger. So it means you can sort of you know, you can change chords really, really quick because you only got to move one finger rather than slide your hand up and down. So I mean, the Spoon Man riff was superb riff. So yeah, I mean, there was a band that I recorded a long time ago, 25 years ago plus, called Graveyard Shift, and they had a riff that always stuck in my mind, which was again, it was a drop D tuning riff, but it's one of the best riffs I've ever heard. And it's such a shame that they never kind of got big, but yeah, it's great groove. I like that sort of stuff. So yeah, so basically that's it. You've got to, if you've got a free app that you can use as a guitar tuner that hasn't got any fancy settings where it recognises all the notes on the musical alphabet, you can still use it, but you just got to fool the tuner into thinking that you're playing the open D string by just playing a harmonic on the 12th fret of your fat E string after you've turned the tuner around about a third of the way round, and that'll do you. You know, you'll be able to get it spot on. So so that's it. That's my top guitar tip for this week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.